This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to week 25 of my Arrowverse recap, weekly review, and this is the 25th week. I'm going over the second to last episode of the Legends Season 6, episode 4 of Stargirl. Might be 5, I don't remember. I'm tired, I want to get through this kind of quickly. And, the second episode back for Supergirl. As I said, I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to be going through, definitely Supergirl quickly, but Stargirl and Legends I might spend a little more time on. Okay, so first, Legends. This was an interesting episode that really wrapped up the story of John Constantine, and, it also went out, established, what's her name, Spooner a little more, revealing she was actually from the past and brought to the future by the Fountain of Imperium. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting twist to have in there. But also, honestly, I kind of wish this was a fully Constantine-centric episode. But I get why it wasn't, because this isn't his show. But I still think it was a nice end for Constantine. And for him to be with basically his greatest failure, Astra, in the end. And I really was wondering what was going to happen. And I kind of thought he was maybe going to survive and go off to, not use magic anymore. But it seems like that is not going to happen, and he has died. And that was probably the most interesting part. I honestly did not see Constantine dying, but honestly I think that was a nice twist into it. Constantine is always a character mainly defined by his darkness, and to see him, returning to that, trying to, be back and get his abilities back, was definitely interesting. And I think it was a very well and good ending to his story. And also the Spooner stuff, that was pretty interesting, but it's kind of overshadowed by, John. I think that she's a good character, but I'll say with it, John Constantine was probably the biggest named character on Legends, even when they had people like, the Atom and stuff on it. Since, really, I'd say in terms of, heroes, he's probably upper B-list hero. And I would say that because, I don't think he is in the level of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, even like the Flash and stuff. I think those are, A-list heroes, but I think he's right at the top of B. And it's not really an insult to him. It's just he hasn't been in anything to make him really popular. Because here's the thing. If you like the MCU and any of the characters in it, unless those characters are Spider-Man or the Hulk, the best you were getting from them was they were maybe bottom of B-list heroes to, most people. I just think Avengers in the comics were big, but many people didn't read comics, so no one really knew who Iron Man was. And the people who do know characters from comics, they knew the popular ones, which were the ones that were bought out because, well, besides Spider-Man and the Hulk, everyone in the MCU was, well, the rejects, the people that they didn't want to buy. And that's really what makes Legends interesting, is because it's kind of, like the MCU, it's some of the characters that people wanted to know as much about, and with some of their original ones in there, like Sarah, who's an original character. I believe Nate is, well, in the comics, but I think some of the characters there, it's a good mix between original and you know uh, existing characters. But that's what makes Legends interesting, and really I think the big names on the show in terms of characters was Kid Flash and Constantine, who I'd say are usually in the B list. But again, that's not, an insult. I'd say that it's just because, besides, certain things, like, of course, Constantine has his own show, and Kid Flash was, well, featured really well in Young Justice, and, well, the Wally West Flash even was in Justice League, but I think it is, the Barry Allen Flash, I would say is A tier, but Wally West, especially with how he's been treated recently, is probably B plus at the best. And that's just really how he's treated as a character, from what I could see. But I feel like I probably should have done that as a separate video, but I recorded all this and don't really feel like editing it out. So you just got like maybe a 3 or 4 minute rant about, well, 6 bunches of like B-list characters. Let's go to Supergirl. And it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a good episode. It was a decent one. Very predictable. Prison corruption and everything. I saw the water of the twist coming from like a mile away. I knew the warden was corrupt. It was so obvious, and honestly, I feel like they might be doing a little too many of those stories, with it also happening in the foster home, or whatever it was. But, yeah, I thought that was maybe a little repetitive, but I understand that they wanted to show it was bad on both ends. And honestly, it was just a decent episode. Really, that's all I can say. Decent episode. Okay, let's go to Stargirl. Yeah, this is another interesting episode. It confirms what I believe a few people were able to figure out, and that is that the young girl who was killed in the beginning was Dr. Midnight's daughter, and we have some interesting reveals in this, including, well, Dr. Midnight is still alive, assuming being held captive by the Shade, but could also be held by Eclipso, and, well, maybe more members of the JSA are alive. And thinking of it, it's pretty likely that, well, Jake Gareth is alive. I was able to escape to Earth Prime, and I'll do a more of a side theory video about that maybe on a different day to try to explain his place into the both Stargirl and Flash timeline, assuming he is the same Jay Garrick. But honestly, I may wait for. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for the Jay Garrick episode where he appears to go over that. But at some point, I think that he might have hopped universes to escape everything, and with some new multiversal rules, he might have lost his memory. Not remembering anything about there being other Earths in the multiverse. And him and his wife were captured by Zoom. And that plays into, the Man with the Iron Mask plot from season 2, which would help him make sense. And also, I don't think there's any way for him to have a doppelganger. It won't be to be from Earth Prime because I don't think that would make too many plot holes. So I think he is from another universe. And if he was from the old multiverse, the neural dissonance, I believe, would kill him. So, really looking at it, I'd have to say that's what I'm thinking. And continuing on with Stargirl, the answer is to see that these JSA members are alive. And honestly, I'm interested in seeing what's going to be happening as this all continues. I think that Stargirl has been pretty good so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of it. I also like that the Shade is sort of on their side, and it was hinted at, but has now been essentially confirmed. And he wants to get rid of the diamond. But also, I think if the Shade does have, Dr. Midnight, there's probably a really good reason. Or this could be I'm trying to throw us off, and maybe the JSA, most of the members were trapped inside of Eclipso, which could also make sense. But either way, this is pretty interesting. Also, I think that I almost forgot about one of the main plots. Crusher Hockey was a fun character. Definitely a little more crazy. And this was interesting to see. I believe it's the Injustice Unlimited being formed, with 2 members already, being recruited. And I'm pretty sure to see the rest of this Stargirl. Although I do think that Legends episode kind of overshadows it this week with the death of Constantine. But yeah, don't think I have much else. My what if video will probably be out soon. Don't have, typically I won't have classes on Wednesdays. Unless there's some kind of holiday on a Monday or on rare occasions. So really, it's probably not going to be delayed since I believe I mentioned this in yesterday's video. It was one of them, I don't remember which one. That since these are 20 minutes, 25-30 minutes long, I should be able to get it done. But Titans reviews, honestly, they may not be getting out until around 1. Because I'll probably be able to get the episode, might be able to see the episode before I will go to class, but I'm almost certainly not going to be able to get a full review done. And if it is, it would probably be really rushed. But Still, look out for that. And I don't think I have anything else. I'm working on maybe getting something that'll be interesting to review, but I'm not gonna say anything for certain until I have it in hand. But really, I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.